By the pricking of my thumbs, something wicked this way comes. By the pricking of my toes, something wicked that way goes. Welcome to Night Vale. Hello again. Hello. Again. A repeated greeting, improbably the same, but familiar, only because of its repetition. A greeting that, due to the perceptions of time and knowledge and familiarity, you believe is my greeting to you. And I believe is my greeting to you. But belief, dear listeners, is weak, and time is not real. So let me just say, hello. For the very first time. Hello. Strange plants have begun sprouting up all over town. They are similar in appearance to normal desert plants, such as prickly pear, tumbleweed, fire, and brittlebrush, but are larger, and sprang up in a matter of seconds. The most common plant to appear has been fire, with the others being extremely uncommon, to the point that witnesses are pretty sure that they were actually already there, and the only one to actually spring up in a matter of seconds has been... Listeners, I'm pretty sure what this news story is really trying to say is that large parts of Night Vale have begun to spontaneously combust. The fires began around sunrise, and have been continuing to appear with increasing frequency throughout the day. The fires appear to be fairly normal, apart from the fact that they began without apparent cause. They seem to be employing the strategy of combustion, vigorously combining molecules in the materials they touch with oxygen in the air, and releasing large amounts of energy in the form of heat and light, and then spreading along these materials, continuing to consume the fuel they provide. The fires are primarily a reddish-orange sort of color, with tongues of blue where they are particularly hot, and are leaving glowing coals in their wake, as well as giving off a large amount of smoke and ash. The fires also do not appear to be sentient, or at least they are refusing to talk to us. So far, the primarily affected areas are Night Vale Elementary School, the vacant lot out back of the Ralphs, Big Rico's Pizza, and our radio station. I can actually smell the smoke. Daniel, my manager, is signaling to me that I should continue the broadcast, that he and Lauren will take care of the fire. Well, I trust Daniel and Lauren to keep the station, and by extension me, from burning to death horribly, so we'll continue with the broadcast as usual. StrexCorp mood regulation implants have arrived. For the past few weeks, Night Vale citizens have been ambushed in their beds by white-coated personnel wielding hypodermic needles, bone saws, and, of course, the implants. The process is completely painless, requiring only a few hundred brief incisions into your spinal column, through which the mood regulation implant can directly access your central nervous system via a series of needle-sharp electrodes. Recovery times have been impressively low, with most citizens up and able to feed themselves again within only a matter of weeks. The implants come in 3 different colors: coal, charcoal, and graphite. Rest assured that StrexCorp employees are well trained in picking the color that goes best with your skin tone. I myself am sporting a charcoal implant. I haven't actually ever seen it, since it's attached to my dorsal vertebra, but Leslie the intern tells me it looks very good, even with the redness, swelling, and bleeding. And hey, listeners, I'll tell you, I feel great. I haven't stopped smiling once since getting the implant. Life is great, and everything is just fine. I can't believe I ever chose to be unhappy. What was I doing with my life? Oh boy, I do not miss those days, let me tell you. And come on, you all know me. Would I lie to you? Of course not. I'm the friendly, trustworthy voice on the radio. I mean, this is only my second show, but you all know me, right? Completely trustworthy and not being controlled by anyone at all. Come on. Would someone with a gun to his head sound this happy? Of course not. That's a ridiculous idea. I sure am glad station management took the locks off of the booth door. It felt so prison-y in here with the door locked. Anyway, I'm getting off topic. StrexCorp mood regulation implants. Stop running. Everything's fine. Really? And now, traffic. Deep below the surface of the ocean, where the light cannot reach and the warmth of the sun and the earth are both a long-forgotten fairy tale, where the weight of the water above crushes down like 16 tons of rock.
That says if transmissions are getting through, well, it says it's getting through, so, really, I think it probably must be. Okay, so functioning on the assumption that it is getting through, and someone out there can actually hear me, hello? It seems like something knocked me out of orbit, and I am actually, speeding towards Earth at, really alarming speeds. So either I was knocked out of orbit, or, the Earth decided to come and visit. Not entirely sure which of those is more probable, but just functioning on the assumption that soon, the Earth and I will be, in the same place. Going from that, please help. I think the onboard thingy, computer thingy, says that this general area is where I'm going to land, eventually after going around a few more times, of course. So, heads up, and if I am alive when I land, not sure what the probabilities of that are, bit concerning, really, but if I am alive when I land, functioning on that assumption, could you, help? I really don't think I'll be in good condition then. Hoping I will be, but again, haven't got legs, not exactly able to get up and walk around. Not that space wasn't nice, it sort of was, a bit boring though, and well, company isn't great. But, I'm already hitting the top of the atmosphere, and things are getting a little bumpy, and actually very, very, very hot. I don't seem to have any sort of parachute either. Seems like a bit of a design flaw. Might want to take that up with the engineers for the next model. So it'll probably be a bit of a rough landing. Just a heads up. Thought you should know. Seems I'm going out of range, I think. I'll be back round in, at some point. Haven't quite managed to make sense of this whole orbital velocity bit. Sort of technical, really. I'd tell you, but don't think you'd understand, really. Very technical. A lot of math, a lot of letters, and numbers, bit numbers too. Lots of those, probably not anything that you need to worry about. Oh, no, I almost forgot. If you're that woman, the one who escaped, or her, at least I hope you escaped. She might have killed you. Then wouldn't I look silly? But, in case you're alive, and on the off chance you can actually hear me, I wanted to tell you that I'm really, sincerely, genuinely...
This has been traffic. More now on the sudden fire outbreak. Scientists are claiming that the fires do not seem to have a legitimate physical cause, and are also beginning to behave erratically. Reports are coming in of fires getting bored with the building they were burning down and simply picking up and running across the road to a more interesting building. The fire at the Desert Flower Bowling Alley and Arcade Fun Complex seems to have formed an alliance with the tiny people who live under Lane 5. A bowling alliance, that is. They've been playing non-stop on lanes 5 and 6 for the past 3 hours, and it's starting to disturb the other patrons. How rude. The fire here in the radio station, however, is still behaving mostly like a regular fire. burning through combustibles including walls, papers, and the recordings we have of old broadcasts. Daniel, sparking and twitching, assures me that everything is under control, and intern Leslie brought me some coffee before passing out on the floor of the booth, coughing and holding her, or his, hands to his, or her, throat. Tears streaming down his soot-smudged face. I have to admit, the booth is, sort of, filling up with smoke, and it is getting a little hard to breathe. But the coffee is very good. Very good. Station management makes sure we have good coffee every day. Good, fresh coffee. They understand about coffee. At any rate, as long as the fire does not burn through the wires connecting my recording and broadcasting equipment to power sources and/or the microphone, I'm sure the broadcast can continue as though there is not smoke billowing under the door and flames bathing the hallway outside in lurid orange light. It's actually quite a pretty color. Like sunset. Yes, like a sunset in the hallway. It's very nice if you ignore the smoke. Which is, I admit, getting a little more difficult. But I'm sure Daniel and Lauren have things under control. I'm sure everything's fine. So let's go to a word from our sponsor. Today's program is brought to you by Aperture Laboratories. Since its founding in 1947 as Aperture Fixtures, merchants of fine shower curtains, Aperture has been providing clean, hygienic science to people of all races, creeds, ages, and blood types. Have you ever had a blood-to-gasoline operation done? This almost painless process was developed by Aperture Labs in the 70s. Ever walked on a bridge made of pure sunlight, or floated up a column of weightless blue asbestos? Aperture Labs created both of these everyday necessity technologies. Ever guarded your sleeping infant with a friendly sentry turret? Guess who? Yep, Aperture. So if you want more of this kind of life-saving science, come on down to Radon Canyon and volunteer to be an Aperture Laboratories test subject. We're located behind where that huge lead door used to be. You don't even need to bring anything with you. We'll provide you with everything you'll need for the testing. And afterwards, there will be $60. And potatoes. All the potatoes you can eat. If for some bizarre reason you don't make it out of testing alive, we'll gift your family a lifetime supply of potatoes as our way of saying thanks. Aperture Laboratories. A proud member of the Strex family. Listeners, I just have to say, I'm pleased as punch to have Aperture Laboratories working here with us in Night Vale. It's good to have a real science presence in the community, especially since those other scientists, you know, the ones who have been here loafing around for a couple of years, have taken to spending all their time cowering in their apartments and mailing out occasional gifts to StrexCorp, which is nice, but it kind of ruins the spirit of gift-giving when every present has a note attached to it that reads, "We're sending you everything you asked for. We're cooperating, see? We'll do anything you say. Anything. We're not like him, we swear. We hardly knew him." Carlos who? Sorry, listeners. The booth is really full of smoke now. I can barely see my microphone. My eyes are watering from the chemicals in the smoke. I can't even tell if Daniel is still outside the booth now. All I can do now is take you to weather. That's better. Fresh, clean air. Smoke-free. I went out and informed the fire that this was a non-smoking building. Granted, it didn't listen to me and continued burning down the station, at which point I discovered that Daniel and Lauren had evacuated the station some minutes previously. Fortunately, it was at this time that the meteor hit. I'm sure you all saw it. It was hard to miss. It came down almost directly in the center of town, sending out a huge, deafening shockwave that knocked down several buildings in the area and had the added bonus of putting out all the fires. Except, of course, the one that was still bowling at the Desert Flower Bowling Alley and Arcade Fun Complex, which, I'm told, has been talking about plans to buy a condo in town. Isn't that nice? Anyway, the meteor caused quite a bit of structural damage in the center of town, including a crater nearly 20 feet wide and 5 feet deep. It is still smoking and much too hot to approach. The ground near the meteor itself is still glowing red, not to mention the meteor, which is emitting some really interesting pinging noises, like hot metal cooling. But alas, listeners, this mystery is one we will have to solve another day. For now, Night Vale is no longer burning down. The station is saved, and Leslie the intern is... Leslie? Are you... To the friends and family of Leslie the intern, we give our deepest condolences. She, or possibly he, was a good intern, and will be missed. He, or possibly she, made very good coffee. A little smokier than before, but still good. Oh well. I mean, interns, right? Right. Stay tuned next for tips on home remedies for 2nd and 3rd degree burns, as I treat and bandage the severe and incredibly painful injuries I received during the course of today's broadcast, since there isn't a scientist here to help. Huh. Why did I say that? Doctor, I meant doctor. Weird. And so, listeners, with the day abruptly saved, the fires extinguished, and the sun having set, the smoldering crater glowing gently in the center of town, I bid you good night, Night Vale. Good night. Blue Sky Glow Cloud is a production of the Internet. It is written by SJ, that's me, and produced by me as well. The voices of Blue Sky Glow Cloud were also all me. Original music by Disparition and Aperture Science Psychoacoustic Laboratories. Most of it can be found online at disparition.info or disparition.bandcamp.com. Additional musical contributions were The Fire by Imogen Heap. More information can be found at imogenheap.com. Today's weather was Singing Bridges by Matchbook Romance, who apparently don't have a website. Portal and all related characters, devices, and scenarios belong to Valve. Today's proverb: an elephant never forgets. It never forgets what you have done. But which elephant is it? Which one?